Next up, we have Connor Steinbrook. Connor is a former professional online poker player and founder of Investor Army. He used social media to grow his business from near bankruptcy to a multi-million-dollar company within 3 years. It's pretty awesome. He is a social media influencer with over 37,000 YouTube subscribers and 1.8 million views. His real estate team of over 600 agents spans across 35 states and 4 countries, including Canada and Mexico. Wow, pretty awesome. Poker player, huh?
Can y'all hear me, Jamie?
Yes, the floor is all yours. I'm going to hop out of here.
Awesome. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm traveling today, but I'm going to give you some good information. So quickly to run down on my story here, how I stumbled into social media and YouTube video marketing. And we're going to talk about primarily credibility marketing today and what you need to do with it. Is they mentioned that I went off to college in 2003. I put $20 in a poker site for fun, ran it to a small fortune. And then in 2011, what happened was the online poker sites got shut down by the United States Department of Justice. Now, during this time, this was a very tough time for me because I lost everything because I had one income stream. It wasn't residual. I had no equity component to my business model, and I had no duplication. So at that moment, I realized I was going to go into real estate to build time and money freedom, buying rental properties. I jumped into real estate, guys. I failed miserably, went almost $100,000 in debt. I ran out of money, but I had time, which is what I want you guys to understand, is because of social media, technology, and the internet, if you guys have time, you can build a business. So what happened was Google had just acquired YouTube. I realized that YouTube was going to really play a big impact into the algorithm. So I started building private YouTube channels, linking them to my websites. And what happened was it pushed my websites up to be #1 in Dallas. So I started buying houses. I built a big wholesaling company, transitioned to fix and flip rentals, owner financing, creating notes, selling partial notes, and went into mobile homes and land deals, and all because of social media marketing and video marketing. Now, what I want you guys to ask yourself right now is, what are you doing compared to your competition that puts you in a hierarchy position for credibility in the marketplace? So there's only so many things you guys can do to distinguish yourself from your competition. Being on camera, having a microphone on your hand, being on magazine covers. So what I want you guys to start thinking about is not just lead generation, but lead conversion. So as I travel around the country teaching people how to, generate leads for motivated sellers, a lot of people think to double their business, they have to double their lead generation. So let's say you guys are generating 10 leads a month from certain type of strategy, you get 1 out of 10 under contract. If you ask the average person how to double their business, they're going to say I have to generate 20 leads a month so I can get 2 deals a month. The easiest way to double your business, guys, is to double your conversion. So let's say you're getting 1 out of 10. Let's try to get 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10. So you can either increase your lead generation or increase your conversion. Now, the way you increase your conversion is to increase your credibility, and that's what social media and video marketing can do. So what I want to go over here, guys, is kind of how a business is built. So marketing creates attention, and then once you have attention, you need communication, the ability to negotiate, overcome objections, break habits, and influence. So how are you going to get the attention in the first place over your other partner, over your competition? Video marketing is what I've used, and YouTube video marketing is the best thing I know about. So the first thing is people struggle to get attention. YouTube is going to do that for you. You're actually going to be able to communicate a message to the individual you're talking to as compared to sending a postcard or having them call you off a bandit sign or something like that. So what I want to impress upon you guys is it's not about what you know or who you know anymore. It's about who knows you. So think about that, right? So if people don't know you in your marketplace, if other people know the other person better than you, they have a bigger brand, you're going to be losing heads up deals all the time. So I want to talk about video marketing here real quick in a form of passive versus active. So you guys all understand when it comes to making money, it's better to make it residually than it is through active income. But I want you guys to start thinking about that with your marketing as well. So let's talk about leverage here real quick. So let's say I send a postcard. I spend 40, 50 cents or whatever it is. I get one touch. They throw it in the trash. I spent money. I spent time. If I create a video, I put a video out. Let's say I spent 10 minutes to create that video. What if 100,000 people watch that video? 100,000 people could trade 10 minutes back to the 10 minutes I traded one time. So you're getting an exponential leverage based off what you're doing as far as the time you're putting into your marketing. Now, the other thing is YouTube and video marketing has evergreen content. So that means just like an evergreen tree, that information, those videos that you put out, if they're relevant today, 5 years from now can be relevant tomorrow. What that means is your efforts today can generate you business tomorrow. Now, I want to talk about conversion here real quick and communication because I just got limited time with you guys here. but you may be familiar with what's called 10-45-45. And if you guys are not on video marketing going forward, you guys are putting yourself in a very dangerous position that your competition is going to weed you out of the marketplace. So if you don't know what 10-45-45 means, 10 stands for the words you say, the actual script, the actual words that are being talked about. Then the 45%, the other 45% are for nonverbal body language communication, and then the emphasis, conviction, and delivery of the message that you have. So if you take two different individuals, they're going for the same movie role, have the same script, who gets the movie role? It's based off the way they deliver the message and then also their nonverbal body language communication. So if you guys are just doing postcards, billboards, cold calling, you're doing all these different marketing strategies, but you don't have the video component to it, you guys are really leaving a lot of deals on the table. So I want you to start thinking about how to do reactive, passive marketing, how to put things out there once that work for you forever. So it's so important to understand this, guys. Okay. So a lot of you guys are transitioning into your business right now, thinking about you need to have a website. You guys have to have a website, right? Now, why do you have a website? For credibility. Because if you go out to a property, your competitor goes out to the property, everything's held constant, everything's held the same. Then they look up your competitor, they find they have a website, a professional website, they look you up and you're non-existent. Who do you think is going to get that deal? Now, going forward, because of social media, it's amplified one more level. So if you go out there and your competition has a massive social media following and you don't, they're going to find out, or they're going to look them up on the internet, and they're going to go with them all the time. So all the time we're winning deals underneath, from behind other investors, we're offering less than them because of credibility, because of our YouTube channel. Sorry guys, it's kind of hot in here, I'm sweating here. But so what I want you guys to start thinking about is paid versus organic. So when it comes to online social media marketing, you can go direct to the individual you're talking to by paying for ads, or you can basically build your channel organically like I did as an asset long-term that builds over time. But today you can go direct to your target by marketing to them. So why, if you guys are not doing YouTube ads for your motivated seller business, you guys are leaving a lot of money on the table, is because you can target exactly who you're trying to reach. For example, we're about to go into a big foreclosure boom, a lot of people think. What if you could run an ad to people in your city looking for how to stop foreclosure? So I can go on the internet, basically pick a video out where that video may be how to stop foreclosure. Let's say it has 100,000 views all across the world. Well, I can actually take that video URL in my back office, run an ad on top of that video only for the zip code of houses I'm trying to buy. So if anybody in that zip code goes on the internet and watches that video, my ad is going to pop up first to watch. Other things that you can do is run ads on top of probate attorneys, divorce attorneys, tax delinquents, evictions, right? So find the same types of strategies that we're always doing, but get in front of these individuals by running an ad right on top of their video, or right on top of that video. So this is a great way to get in front of individuals and speak to them. Now, a lot of times people do business with who they know, like, and trust, and video marketing allows you to build rapport before you ever go out to the property. So you guys know what it's like to spend 1-2 hours sometimes sitting with a homeowner trying to build that rapport. If you guys build a social media following big enough, you won't have to do that anymore. When you show up, the rapport is already built with these individuals. So I want you guys to start thinking about lead generation, but primarily lead conversion, and how to create marketing out there that's going to be working for you 24/7. Now, when you have a video and somebody's watching it in their room, is that more powerful than getting a postcard in their hand that they're going to barely touch? So also, they can go back and watch these videos again. So what I want you guys to start thinking is how to get an organic strategy going and then a paid strategy going. One is going to be long-term, one is going to be short-term, but direct to who you're trying to get to. Now, another reason, guys, this is important is because you want to give the control to the person you're working with. So here's a case study of a property that we bought. It was a 3-time Super Bowl winner's house. He played for the Cowboys. They must have had 20 people mailing them for foreclosure. They had bankruptcy attorneys on their front step. They had all sorts of people leaving notes on their door. But because I had a video on the internet, when they went on the internet and they called me, what the difference is on a psychological level is that homeowner is taking control in their own hands. They're reaching out to me, so they feel like they're in control of their situation. Whereas when you're reaching out to them and they're responding to you, they feel like you're almost hunting them and taking advantage of their situation. So if you have reactive marketing versus proactive marketing, your conversion rates are going to pick up a lot higher. So what you guys need to think about is how to get inbound leads contacting you instead of you contacting them. So, Chris, how much time do I have? I got 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
And unless you want to open up to questions, because I've got a lot of thoughts on the topic too. So you run the course, and I'll hop in if needed.
Yeah, I mean, we can open up to questions if you want. Whatever you want me to do.
All right, folks. So this is something I did not anticipate taking the stage with Connor, but it is something that I've become very, very passionate in. Like if you follow me on social media, you've seen that clearly. You may not have known what's going on behind the scenes or whatnot, but this is something. So Connor caught this trend early. He's been very fortunate in that he was able to figure it out and make the connections on what was going on, and he's been able to capitalize on that, both from an influence and also that's resulted in monetary benefits to him. But this is early. I was making this. I forget which guest was on, but basically what I was saying is when it comes to online marketing and online interactions and business and commerce and all that stuff, like right now, in the grand scheme of things, it's small. It's small. So when you think like Connor's got 37,000 followers, and I mean, we got 500, that is tiny. Like 10 years, what does that look like whenever 60% of all commerce ends up being online? Like right now, I think it's like maybe 25, 30. And that's a big bump up just from COVID. Like that is still tiny. What's it going to look like when a majority of folks like they never go to the grocery store? It's all online. That's in the context of reviews over with the 5 Oak guys. So building an audience, and here's the biggest hang up. Connor, correct me if I'm wrong. When you're talking and you're consulting with folks that want to build an online channel, whether it's YouTube or any type of online presence on how they're communicating with their guests, correct me if I'm wrong here, the number one thing that holds them back is they're afraid of their face on that camera. Right?
Yeah, everybody's fearful of judgment.
Who's the biggest judge? Really? Is it me that's really the judge of the value, or is it whoever's on the other end watching it?
Yeah, guys, you have a limited window of time. Right now, there's this many people doing YouTube in our industry. There's this many allocated minutes watched spread across this many channels. As this grows, this market share is going to shrink. So we're in an early adopter strategy here real quick. So you guys have to understand what's happening. Before these big brands get into YouTube and internet marketing, they're still in primary strategies like television and radio. We have this little niche right now where you guys can build your own radio channel and your own television show using podcasts and video marketing with no expense. There's no debriefing rooms. When I do a podcast, I don't have to sit down with 20 people in a network going over what I said, if I said something wrong or going over policy. You guys can run your own independent business and communicate with these tools that we have now that if you think back just 20 years ago is unbelievable. Think about how much you would have to pay to get somebody to watch a 30-second commercial on any primetime television show. And now because of YouTube, with a phone that you're already paying for, a free platform, a little bit of work ethic, you guys can build a national brand just if you get outside your fear set.
Now, here's the next. If the insecurity of what they look like or what they say on camera, that's typically the number one holdback. And ultimately, you don't get to be the judge of that. Like if you already don't think you're a professional in your unique niche, which you can either be the professional or you can be the journalist. Like you actually don't have to be the professional. You could just document your journey. People like watching that too. And just be real. Like, hey, look, I just got my license. This is what I'm doing. Like I've seen successful agents do that. And then like 2 years later, like now they're crushing it. But the next thing is, as you're building this, think, what would your business look like if in 10 years, like you've got 50, 75,000 followers? These are people that you now control or you don't control, but you have significant influence that costs you very little to reach out and communicate with them. And if you don't do that, what's your alternative? Direct mail? Direct mail is great. Like using like what Joe was talking about with mailbox power, like tremendous way to get very granular and send a very personalized message.
Well, think about like Chris, like if you guys are doing direct mail, how much does it cost you to do your second, third, fourth, and fifth touch? So let's say you spend do a direct mail campaign, you spend 30, 40 cents a piece. What's the next touch? Same cost. Next touch, same cost. When it comes to internet marketing, your first touch is the most expensive, and then you drop it down slower for retargeting. So your expense to market is going to drop. How deep you can target the individual is going to increase, and you can pick where you want to a lot easier. So you don't have to just buy a wide generic reaching list. You can now pick certain zip codes, certain types of properties, certain price points. You can market directly to who you want.
And it's not going to last this way forever. So like Connor was talking about, you've got the content creators, which is like this small, and then you've got the overall consumers. That's us, like flicking through our little phone, checking stuff out. That's this big. Well, creators, they get bigger. Like on Facebook, 5 years ago, you can go like the organic reach was massive because there was very few creators, very few marketers out there creating content, tons of consumers. Well, that changed. It evolves over time. That's just the way things work. And they eventually shut that down because they want there to be more consumers. But their ad platform is still, I mean, you can like Facebook for their, what they do and all these social media platforms. Like you can hate them for what they do. But at the end of the day, they are a platform. They have consumers that are your customers on the other end using them. Think of them as a business tool. It's all they are. They're a business tool. Is there a learning curve? Yes. It may, depending on your expertise, be a painful learning curve. But the pain, if you're going to be in this game for the next 10, 15 years, for not learning it, is going to be huge. Yep. It's going to be big because like right now, you can run video views for 1 cent per view. 5 years from now, it's not going to be that cheap. It will not be that cheap.
The cost of attention is the lowest it's ever going to be in our lifetimes, guys. And I get all the time, people ask me, they're like, should I be doing social media video marketing? Should I be on YouTube? And it's really like someone coming up to you saying, should I drink water today? If you're an entrepreneur, it's just like not having a website 7 years ago, 5 years ago. You have to be on video marketing now because everybody else is going to do it. If you're not, and you don't have a video presence out there, you don't have a social media presence, when these homeowners are looking into you and other competitors, and they see these other people are everywhere and you're nowhere, how do you think that's going to pan out? So I want you to start thinking about credibility, what you can do. Can you write a book, get on a book cover? There's book licensing companies. Chris probably had Max Keller on here in Brant, where you can license their books and you can put your face on their book. How do you get on magazine covers? How do you get on stage and speak? How do you get on video? How do you get on podcasts? The more you can get your face out there in credibility positions, your consumer is going to look into you on the internet. When they type your name in, you see you pop up everywhere. You're at the leg up on everybody else right there.
Attention. It's all about attention and being able to get it underpriced. Otherwise, you can go out and pay for the billboard and the TV ads. It's expensive, or you can find ways to do it underpriced. I forgot what I was going here. Okay. So learning this stuff, and there is a learning curve, and that's what Google's for, right? Like, you didn't know how to drive a car. I mean, you didn't Google how to drive a car, but someone showed you. Like there is stuff out there. You can go pay, I don't know, $49, probably do a webinar, and they'll show you how to do social media. Connor's got a course that at least with invested agents, we just give it to our real estate team for free on how to build a channel. But you can Google this stuff and figure it out. And if you can figure it out, like, you're going to be far ahead, because most agents will not do it. I see what other agents are doing out there, and we've got some pretty cool stuff of what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks. They're not doing it, or if they do it, they'll do it 1 or 2 times. And this is the thought I was mentioning earlier. Time is the next big excuse for not doing it. That was my excuse to Connor for a year. When I met Connor, I knew I didn't know him. But when I saw what he did, I was like, wow. And then he started saying all the same stuff he's just told y'all. And then I was like, cool. Hey, I'm going to do that. And then I was like, I'm busy. Never got the time. I actually went out and bought a little like 101 level studio equipment. Never did it. It was just time. Time was always my excuse. But here's the trick on the time. Don't create. Don't go out there. I mean, you can if you have the time or unique moments come up. You don't have to create anything new. Just document what you're doing. If you're out there and you're running your business, just document it. If you're going on a showing for a house that's in Memorial and it's like a $500,000 house, show up 5 minutes early before your client. Do a video walkthrough, pointing out all the unique things or what buyers need to be looking for in certain homes in that neighborhood. maybe interview your clients and get some actual video feedback from them. Same thing with sellers. Just document what you're already doing, and then it's not much time. You can get a VA to do all the post-production, all the little technical details for very cheap.
What I'd say to them, and Chris, is a lot of times what I see people hold them up, Chris, is perceived difficulty, not the reality of the real difficulty. So a lot of times you guys are creating monsters and things in your mind of how difficult it's going to be, how much you have to learn, how much time, kind of what Chris says, the time investment to get there. This is not a very difficult thing to do, guys. There's not that many working parts. It just seems like it is a different language. And when you look in the back office, you see all these tabs, these different charts, these analytics. You don't need to use a lot of that, guys. You just need to start putting content out there. And as you do it, you'll get better. If you go back and watch my first videos, they're laughable. I mean, one of my most viewed videos I did right after I took a nap, got up, didn't even have good lighting. My hair's all messed up. And because what I started doing was I was tired of answering the same questions for people over and over and over. So I said, how do I leverage my time? Let me film a video one time, post on YouTube, and anytime somebody asks me a question about this, I'll just send them the video link. So a lot of times you guys are not doing this because of a perceived difficulty that you've created in your mind that's creating procrastination. So you just have to do it because every 6 months, every 12 months, every 18 months that goes by, in early adopter strategies, market share gets taken. So the opportunity is decreasing every single day that goes by. So there's a time clock to it. So the faster you guys do this now, the bigger, the better the opportunity.
Ultimately, this is what it all revolves around to. This is a race of content. So Gary Vee likes to say content at scale. Every single piece of content you put out there is one little teeny tiny fish line in the water. Now, you may catch a fish with it. Probably won't in this type of pond. You're probably not going to. You can't go and say, hey, I'm going to go change my business and post on LinkedIn one time a day or go tweet once a day. There's just too much content. No one's going to notice you. It's going to take more than that. But over time, being consistent, tweeting multiple times a day, putting multiple, and there are tools for this to make it simple. And especially if you're documenting, not creating multiple times a day, 10 years from now you've got like, I don't know, 20,000 pieces of content out there that's searchable, that's contextual, searchable. Now consumers see that. Not only do they see it now, but also once they find you and they're interested in you, they're probably now doing their research and due diligence. Now they see like, oh man, this person's active. Like this agent's all over the place. I'm gonna give them a shout. Got a house. I don't know any realtors, or I'm moving in the area. Let's see what happens. So
yeah, you guys just got to start, because now looking back, I have almost 1,000 pieces of content out there on the internet. Now looking back, if you were asking me when I started and say you go put 1,000 pieces of content out there, I said no way, that doesn't seem possible, and it would have been too big of an effort in my mind. But if you guys just start putting out 2 videos a week and then going on a podcast here and there, doing a podcast here and there, before you know it, guys, if you're just putting out content every week, over time that asset builds and you're going to have a following, and 2-3 years down the road, you're going to get paid off for the efforts you're putting in today. But it's going to take a little bit of time to get this rocket ship off the ground. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort, because your channel's small, but it grows exponential. Because if you have 10 people, say 2 people out of 10 like it, that's 2 people sharing word of mouth or sharing your videos on the internet. It's not a lot. Now you get to 100, same percentage, but now you're at 20, 1,000, 200. So as time grows, more people share your videos, more people talk about you, and it creates attention as a funnel to you. And so it's going to be very, very slow and stressful in the beginning, guys. You just have to push through that pain barrier and get through there and have some personal initiatives to stay consistent, keep doing it. Because if you do it and you pull it off, it's going to change your life forever, like it did mine and a lot of other people who have built big channels.
Yep. Last little thing. One other little trick on the content, like you can take long form content and chop it up into small form. So say you've got 1 5-10 minute video. Well, that can actually be like 15 different pieces of content. Like you may have 3 or 4 different 1-2 minute like value nuggets in there. Plus you've got the long form, plus it can be converted into text, into a blog, and then you can create images and image overlays, and then just voice. Like there's so many things that you can make one single piece of long form content. So you don't have to make it difficult. Just document what you're already doing. Have a VA or assistant or someone chop it up for you, and you can put it out there and repurpose the content you're already doing. So it's just a good time-saving tool. So Connor, how should folks, if they want to reach out to you? And we're going to invite him. I don't know. We got something special at the end of the day. I know he's traveling. He's traveling all over the country helping out his team. I'm not sure if
I can
hey, if I'm on your favorite YouTube channel. So
yeah, Kobe, ours was. Come on.
be back later. I love you, Kobe. But in any case, so Connor, if you're not able to come back later, that's fine. But how should folks reach out to you?
I'll just put my number in the chat box and my email.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so
find me on Facebook. Or email me.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
I work with Connor. Like I'm talking to him on a weekly basis, multiple times a week. He's been a good mentor over the years. So thank you very much, Connor.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, guys, Chris and Jamie are the real deal. Been down there, seen their operation, been to their office. You guys got some good people leading you here. So I hope you guys had some great speakers. Once again, sorry I'm traveling on the road. It's the best I could do, guys. We're pulled off on the side. But yeah, guys, reach out to me. I'd be glad to help in any way I can. Other than that, guys, enjoy this event and hope you guys have a blessed day.
Thank
You too. Take care.
You guys have a good one.